Evening and welcome to be in the noodling session. This is not a new segment. I'm not going to have something funny called the noodling session, although I should, because that's quite often how I play these things. I noodle. But the reason I'm doing this tonight is because I get a number of questions on the channel all the time about pedals. And I did a video a while ago, should be up here somewhere, about this thing and changing the polarity on a DP6 to make it a DP-5. Now, a DP, I don't know which way round the DP-5 and the DP6 is, I can't remember off the top of my head. But in essence, one of these particular pedals, the DP-5 or the DP6, when you pressed the pedal down like so, you made a circuit. Okay, and therefore, if you look at the end of this, and the contact jack, here you see there's a standard 1/4" jack with two connectors on it. Okay, so the tip and the shaft. So when you do that, effectively allow electricity to flow from the tip to the shaft, or the shaft to the tip, depending on which way they wire it up. Now the other pedal, whichever one it is, the DP-5 or the DP6, works the other way around. So when you plug this in, there is power that is flowing from the tip to the shaft all the time, and you effectively, when you do that, you break the circuit. Okay, and the keyboard is set up one way or the other. Now luckily, some of these keyboards, you can change the polarity of the foot switch to work the other way. So if you've got a DP-5 or a DP6 and the keyboard is the other, you can change the keyboard. But most keyboards, most legacy keyboards, don't allow you to do that because they're not that savvy. So you need to buy the pedal with the other one. Now the video I did was about how do you change one of these into the other one, which is dead easy. Sort of a little bit of thought and a soldering iron. Then a while before or after, I can't remember which now, I talked about these. Right? Now I call this a stomp pedal, if I'm honest. And the reason I call it a stomp pedal is because it's on the floor and I stomp on it. And I really am not a great fan of these because these literally are just an on and off switch and you get very little feedback when you're playing. I do have a few of these, purely because I just haven't got around to selling them on. They work the same way. You've still got the 1/4" jack with tip and shaft, and effectively either you connect the circuit doing that, or you break the circuit doing that. Okay. Now I don't like these. I'm not a great fan of these. I do have a few of them, and I use them for things like putting in the back of effects units. And in actual fact, one of my favourite pedals, which is down the studio, is I think it's a Boss pedal. It's an FC 05, I think it is. I mean, you know the pedal I'm talking about. Those of you who've been around for a while, effectively it has two pedals in it, a left and a right, and you can use it for going up and down through sequences by pressing the left or the right. Very, very useful, that one is. Very useful when I used to gig, but I don't gig anymore, so not so useful, but I use it in effects units really quite a lot. So that was the stomp pedal, and that would have been up in the corners there somewhere, that particular video. And then along comes this one, which is the one I've had most often. Now I bought this not that long ago, well I say not that long ago, it's probably 2.5 years ago now. And I did a video because I sort of kind of felt I needed to go and buy this for the Jupiter. Okay, and the reason for that was that I was finding that the Jupiter wasn't working particularly well, and it also had a damper function on it, which basically, based on how hard you press that, would change how the synthesizer reacted. You could program the synth to do all kinds of various things based on that action. Now, the big difference between this, which is the DP-10, which is the new pedal that Roland sell, and the old one, is effectively, if you look at the 1/4" jack, you notice there's three connections on there. Okay, a tip, a middle, and the shaft. Now, when that goes into a keyboard that has damper function on it, effectively there are three contacts in the keyboard, and by pressing this down it measures the resistance between the various different contacts and tells the keyboard what to do or how hard you are pressing it. So with this one it was literally an on and an off. With this it's off, on, okay, as it goes down. So the harder you press the pedal, the more of whatever you've got it programmed up to happens. Okay, so it can be a sustain, it can be a damper, you can use it for all kinds of things. Anyway, it has 3 contacts, and there is a video floating around somewhere up here that should be showing you pedals away, which was when I went and bought some brand new pedals, one of which was this, one of which was for my Korg Kronos at the time. In fact, I actually now have 3 of those, because I have one for this beastie here, one for this beastie here, and one for the Kronos. Because the Korg ones don't like other pedals. You just know it. The difference is that this one has the really old KS1H pedal, I think it is, and these 2 have the newer 3-pin version. They're very nicely, I'll tell you what, the Korg pedals are really nicely shaped. They have really sort of like quite ergonomic arms. Anyway, the reason for spending the last 3 minutes waffling about pedals. If you look at the side of this thing, okay, there you go, you can see a switch, right? And you can also see a couple of symbols by the side of the switch. They may not be coming out particularly well. Okay, and written against that switch is continuous and switch. Okay, and what that means is, I had to take my glasses off because these are new glasses, they don't focus very well at short distance. And basically what that means is, if you've got continuous going on, then it's pumping current around all the time, depending on what keyboard you want. And if you're on a switch, it gets braced. So, one of the questions I get asked all the time about these things is, my pedal doesn't work, or my pedal's doing something weird. And to answer your question, very simply, you've got the wrong pedal. Okay? And you need to go and buy a pedal that has the opposite polarity. And the first thing you're going to say is, what polarity have I got? Well, go online and find your keyboard manual. Now, most of the manuals for keyboards now are online somewhere. You can get hold of a PDF copy of them from the manufacturer's websites in a lot of instances. But if it was a very old keyboard, then there are sites that actually have them on there for free. You don't need to pay for manuals, and if somebody's trying to charge you for a manual, politely sort of move on, because you don't need to pay for them. Somebody suggested to me that I set up a website charging people for downloading manuals, and the honest answer is there's so many of them out there for free. It would be a complete waste of time. Even though I have, if I'm honest, most of the service manuals for most of the equipment I have. That's just basically because I've picked them up through auctions and what have you over the years. Anyway, if you go and read the manual will tell you, number one, what voltage this thing takes. The second thing it will tell you whether it's an open or closed circuit and what type of pedal you need. And therefore you can then go out and buy the relevant pedal. Now, if you go into the generic market, there is a brand called Stagg. And they make some very good generic pedals. I think it's the Stagg 01 or something like that is the relevant pedal. It's sort of it's a bit of a teardrop shape at the end of the pedal. It looks like a proper piano pedal actually, if I'm brutally honest. And that is a polarity switchable pedal. And my experience is it doesn't work with some keyboards, but most keyboards it's a really good generic fit. Works very well with the Yamaha stuff, I found. Also works very well with the early Roland stuff, so D50s, doesn't work so well with D70, D50 works well with, and a couple of other keyboards. So if you are looking for a polarity change switch, my advice is go and buy the Stagg, or have a go with the Stagg if you borrow one. Take your keyboard down to the local music shop, plug it in and see if the Stagg pedal works for you. Now, people won't turn around and say, oh, well, no, you don't want to do that. They won't do it. I'll tell you what, any music retailer who wants to make you a sale will allow you to bring your keyboard in and play with pedals. I guarantee they will, because they want your money. So they will allow you to do it. Anyway, that's all I wanted to say on pedals. And I managed to waffle on for about 10 minutes on just pedals. Until next time, bye-bye. Remember, hit that like button if you like what you saw. Subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon to be notified about more rants, more mailbag, more questions and answers, and more videos about this sort of stuff when it's loaded to the channel. Until next time, bye-bye.